For more updates, click on subscribe and click on bell button for latest notifications. So here is my virtual machine, so which I don't know the password exactly, so maybe I'm just trying to log into this machine. So but I say that the authentication is failure, so in the sense I do not know this virtual machine's password. Now I have to reset this one, so you have to go to over here and just restart the machine. So after this, just stop it over here on the kernel. After that, in order to edit this kernel parameters, so you have to just press E in the sense edit this kernel parameters, and come down all the way, and wherever you can see this Linux 16 over here, go to end of this line over here. Go to end of this line over here and add rd dot break console equal to tty1. Now what happens here is that we are just breaking this boot and booting that process into the single user mode. Now press Ctrl X. Now you can see that the system has been loaded without it did not ask us any username or password, so it just enter into the switch root. Now what you have to do is that you just verify that mount. You can see this, the file system of the slash is in read only mode for this. Okay, the sysroot of this file system is in read only mode. For now, if you want to write something on the any file system, you have to mount that as a rewrite. So in order to do that, what you have to do is that mount -o, remount the file system with read write /sysroot. Okay, now change this as a sysroot. Now you become a root here, just type password, enter, so that's the default username. Now what is the password has been given to us? So the password called red hat. You have to type it over here, so your password reset completed. But if you do not make these SELinux auto relabeled, then these password do not work. So in order to relabel your SELinux, you have to do touch / auto relabel. You have to create this file over here with the auto relabel file .auto relabel file, so that the SELinux will automatically relabel your context, SELinux context. Now exit and again exit. So now system will be rebooted and your SELinux context will be rebuilt and the machine will be up, so that you have to type this same password and log into the machine. Let's see, the system is booting up. Now you can see this, the SELinux is rebuilding, so the percentage is going to be rebuilt, so that it complete 100%, then the system will be boot into the actual mode. So let's wait, it comes to the 100% and boot up into the actual. See, it's completed 70%. I can see this, it's 100% completed, so it's ready to reboot the machine. The system is rebooting. So now you can see this, the system is booting up. Okay, now system has been rebooted, and let's try our password is working or not. Okay, yes, it's working. So this is how you reset your password. Then After that, if you have the system is booted into the non-graphical user mode, in the sense the CLI mode, it's by default boot into the CLI mode, then what you can do is that you can set that into the graphical mode. So that in order to do that, what you have to do that just there's no terminal directly, so here you have to type systemctl and set default into graphical dot target. So this is way you have to change it and reboot the machine once again, so that your system will boot into the graphical user mode. Let's go to this our virtual machine over here and say mkdir/backup data. Okay, so always you can just simply copy paste this text. Okay, if you do any spelling mistakes over there, so your question will be going back again to the no mark. So that always copy paste this kind of text always. We are going to set this up, this virtual machine's IP address over here. So there are so many ways you can do that. So the best ways is that you can simply use a NMTUI tool. Maybe you can just go to over here something like this, NMTUI, and edit the connection. Currently the whatever the connection is edited over here, you can simply set it up to the manual over here and add the IP address and DNS server, all the stuff. Okay, you can simply do that and just add this. So that is the one way you can do that. Other way is that the command line, you can use this nmcli connection command, that command to modify it. Okay, first of all, nmcli connection show, you can see that what is the connection currently you have. This is the connection name, device name you have over here. So this is the connection name, you have to change it, nmcli connection modify. Okay, and say the Ethernet name, so which one you would like to modify, and IPv4 address. So they asked us to set the IP address of the v4 version, so that we are going to set that IP address is that 192.168.2.47/24. Okay, do not going to change it. Now I'm going to change it to nmcli connection modify and the interface name. Now we have to add this DNS address, IPv4 DNS 192.168.2.43 is the DNS address they have given, and nmcli connection modify DNS0, and this is going to be a static address. So the IPv4 method is going to be a manual, not automatic. nmcli connection modify, and now the connection should be automatically connect whenever you have the reboot. This is very, very important. If you do not turn it up on, so that whenever you set the IP address also, that is a waste of use. Okay, there is no use of that IP address. So you did not set connection to be automatically on, then there is no use of setting up the IP address, because whenever the system has been rebooted after the examination completes, so your system does not come with an IP address, so that whatever you set up completely a failure. Now what they have said that they have like DNS search should be something to be set, right? So now DNS search is going to be arkit.lab.local. Okay, this is what they said as to configure. So we set up the IP address 2.47, and we have to set up the gateway over here, nmcli connection modify 0, IPv4.gateway 192.168.2.2. Now let's restart the network service. systemctl restart network, so that you after restart also you just verify the IP address over here. It should be manual. Okay, now 2.47 has been set it up as per the requirement. Our IP address, DNS all has been set it up. Partition of the 2 GB over here. Disk-L, let's see this. But I'm just going to have disk/sdb. Now let's verify that is there any partitions. There's no partition, so now I'm going to create a new partition, and it's going to be primary, and the partition number is going to be 1, and I'm going to set it up called 2 GB, right? So the partition I'm just going to create is 2 GB. Now just print it up for the confirmation, and now update the kernel module so that it's going to be updated over here. Now disk-L/dev sdb, you can see this, the partition has been created. So but they said they did not given any the format, like which file we can use, XFS or ext for anyone you can use it. So that we are going to create mkfs.ext4/dev/sdb1. I'm just going to format it with the ext4 mkdir/data. I'm just going to create it, and I'm just going to, they said it's going to be a permanent, right? So that we just going to mount it on the fs tab /dev/sdb1 and ext4. Sorry, the mount point would be /data, and file system would be ext4 defaults 00. Now you can see that there is no data. Now you can simply type mount -a, so that you can see that /data has been mounted, and the size is 2 GB and available size is 1.8 GB. Okay, in between 1.5 to 1.8 GB it would be acceptable size because of the inode value consumption over there. Go back to the machine and set the host name. So to set the host name we have to use hostname ctl set host name. And what is the host name they have given? The host name we have to type it over here, server1.arkit.lab.local --static. Now you can see this, verify host name. So the host name has been changed. You can simply exit and relaunch the terminal. Your host name will be shown over here. So the host name is changed. SELinux. So in order to verify SELinux enforcing, you have to edit /etc SELinux config file, and here in the SELinux mode you have to set it as a enforcing over here. If it is there disabled or permissive, you have to change it to the enforcing. And now you can see this C status, so that it should be, the current mode should be enforcing, and the policy mode also should be an enforcing mode. If these two are in enforcing mode, completed. Or you can also see get enforce, so it should be enforcing. So if that is the result of your SELinux command status, so your SELinux has been enabled. Otherwise you can also set enforce equal to 1, so that it should change it to the enforcing. configure in your machine. In order to configure that, you just simply go to /etc m.repos.d over here and create empty file, any file. Example, say that rcl7.repo, something like this, and now edit this file and write this m repository configuration over here. The m repository configuration name, anything you can put. Example, say that rcl dvd, something like that I will put over here, and name you can put anything. Okay, I say remote repo, something like this, any name you can give over here. And base URL, this is very important. Okay, and the base URL would be the URL you have to type it over here, the URL which they have given, RPMs. Okay, this is the URL. And now enabled equal to 1, gpg check equal to 0. Okay, this is the configuration of the m. Now after that, just do mclean all over here and say m repo list, so that you can see that whatever the name you have given over there, it should be appeared over here. See this, the name is appeared and it's enabled. If that is enabled, and you can able to query the list of the RPMs using that m configuration, so that your m is working fine. Just go ahead and add user add and say Ravi and -G, capital G, because they wanted to be in a secondary group called system administrators. Now add one more user add, the username called Kumar, and same over there, system administrators. Okay, both the users has been added as a secondary group as system administrators. Now you can simply verify that. Go to /etc/group and see that system administrators group, there should be two users, Ravi and Kumar. Now you have to set it up both the users password as users@123, right? Now you can simply use user password, you can use Ravi, and you can set it up this password as user@123, and password for the Kumar also is user@123. Okay, now they said that the Ravi should have the interactive shell, and let's verify that cat/etc/password and grep for Ravi user. Okay, Ravi has interactive shell over here, you can see that bin bash. Now Kumar should not have this interactive shell, so that what you have to do, user mode -bin//sbin no login to the Kumar. Okay, now go ahead and see that the Kumar user shell should be no login, non-interactive shell, in the sense user should not able to log into that machine. Data production. Okay, so here while creating the collaborative directory, you have to give the P, so that the directory will be created. Add your permissions over here so that it affects. So change group system administrators, okay, and provide this directory path. Now you can see this /directory1 data and production, and you can see this, the group name is system administrators over there. And now you can change the group permissions to 770 because others do not have any permissions, and whenever any files or directories are created under that directory should get group permissions. So that's why we are going to set SEID number as 2. Now that's done. You can see this directory 1 data and production over here, and the permission has been set accordingly. Virtual machine over here and verify this. You have for LVM creation we have this SDC over here, so we do not have any permission partitions over here. fdisk/dv/sdc and create a new partition over here. Now let's go ahead and create. First of all, see this, how much size is going to be over here. So which says that 20 extends with 32 MB in size. How much is going to be? First of all, we have to calculate that thing, then we can verify the P700 MB over there. So that's why I'm just going to create a 704 MB in size. So I'm just going to create this 704 MB in size, okay, and I can verify that the partition has been created over here and update, and you can see this part probe/dv/sdc, so that the kernel module will be updated. Now you just go to fdisk/dv/sdc and convert that partition into the LVM type. The LVM code would be 8E, and you can see now, before it was Linux, now it is converted into the Linux LVM. Now right and exit, and you can simply update the part probe/dv/sdc. Create the pv create /dv/sdc1. Now PV has been created. You can simply check it up that PVs are there. So PVs has been created over there, and you can simply say PV display. Maybe we did not created any VG over here. VG create -s. So we are going to specify that size of over there. So that 32 MB in size, right? Each that one, and we are going to create the name. So VG name is going to be A engineering and /dv/sdc1. do over here, okay, and we are going to create the volume group. The volume group name called is ENG. So ENG is the group name, and we created the VG display. Now you can see this VG over here, and the P size, the physical extent size, should be 32 MB in size. That you have to verify over there. Now what is the question is, create a LV with 20 physical extents. Now LV create -small l and provide the extent numbers 20, and VG name, what is the VG name? They provided project 1. Is going to be a project 1 over here, and within the ENG. Now you can simply go ahead and see this LVs, and you can see project 1 is the LVM name and ENG is the volume group name, and it's going to be nearby 640 MB in size. Now mkfs.ext4/dv ENG and project 1 is the LVM name. Now mkdir slash red hat. Now edit this slash etc fs tab and again add the entry over here so that it's going to be permanently mount slash dv eng slash project 1 slash red hat ext4 defaults 0 space 0. Okay, and type -a to verify that and check it out whether you have this over there or not. You can simply verify LV display project 1. So you can see this, the current logical extents are 20 we have used over here. So you have to install the utility called system config -date. So this is the package you have to install in order to make your system configuration easy on the graphical mode. You can also use system config or the maybe you can just read the configuration file and do that. Otherwise you can also do this way using the graphical easy interface. Now package has been installed. Type command system config -date and here add the NTP servers, add, and you can add 192.168.2.43 over here and enter. So NTP service is going to be restarted. That's it. That's what it is. The NTP client configuration is also completed. First of all, you have to install the dependency package called authconfig gtk ssd Grep 5 and it's called workstation. So these are the dependencies packages you have to install. Authconfig and SSD and Kerberos 5 workstation packages you have to install in order to authenticate with the LDAP server. So you have to make your server as a LDAP client. Packages installed over here. Now you can simply type authconfig -gtk. It will pop up the over here. So while user authentication you make it as an LDAP and here search dn. So you just go ahead and so you just copy paste that the dn name over here. So here dc equal to arkit, dc equal to lab, dc equal to local. So this is the dn name and LDAP server URL you have to copy over there. LDAP://ipa.arkit.lab.local is my LDAP server address. So now this is my, and if you say use TLS encryption over here and which will ask you for the download certificate and you have to provide the URL over here. Currently I did not copy pasted the URL over there, so I am not using this. Okay, this is the LDAP password. So this is the, you have to make it out over here and click apply. So now your LDAP has been configured. You can simply go over here and you can see this, your LDAP has been configured. That's it. So in order to do that, first of all you have to install install Autofs package. Autofs package has been installed. Now enable the service, enable Autofs dot service and systemctl start Autofs dot service. Okay, now started. And in order to do a Autofs configuration, you have to edit /etc auto dot master. This is the configuration file, and here you can add the new configuration file. Anything you can name it over here. So maybe I say this is something like anything you can say, maybe server, something like this. The file name would be auto.server or auto.autofs, any name you can give it over here. Now you have to edit the configuration of the given name /etc auto.server. So this is a blank file. In this you have to add the entry called the username. Read write and provide the NFS path 192.168.2.43/server /server. So this is the export path, and now you have to save it and systemctl restart Autofs. So that's it. Your Autofs has been configured. Now you can simply go to the mount points and you can see this. The Autofs would be automatically configured. You will get this. Autofs would be mounted, and /remote directory will be automatically created. You don't need to create when you have the Autofs configured. So now you can go ahead and cron tab -u -eu, okay, and Ravi. Now you can see this is the Ravi's cron tab, and they say that 14:30 in the sense, right? 13th minute 14 hours *** and /bin/echo welcome. So this is the cron job you have to configure over there, and if you type cron tab -l over here, there is no cron tab, right? Now you can switch back to the Ravi user and type cron tab -l. You can see the cron tab entry over there. Not schedule any cron job, so what you have to do is that /etc/cron.deny. You have to edit this configuration file and add the username over here, which the user should not create any cron tab entries. That's it. So that the user will not create any cron tab because we are denying over there. Or maybe you can also go to the browser and type that and download the kernel package over there and install it using the rpm command. I say 192.168.2.55 updates. So is the kernel package over here. You can simply click over like this, or maybe you can use also wget something like that and download it, the package from there, and go to downloads, and your package is over here, and you can use IVH kernel and provide the /etc/fstab /etc/fstab to the /var tmp fstab. So we just copy the file and now say chgrp test manager /var tmp fstab. Okay, now group permission has been changed, so we have to provide the permissions to the users which DAX Max should have the read and write permissions. So let's go ahead and set FACL and user equal to max, and it should have the read and write permissions /var tmp fstab, and set FACL -m, and user DAX should not have any permissions over here /var tmp fstab. Now get FACL. The user DAX do not have any permissions, user max has read and write permissions. Okay, so we can simply use that ls-LDAR command to verify that whether all the users should have the read-only access or not. Okay, all the users have the read-only access. Now user add, the user ID is 4389. Okay, they did not shell would be interactive or not. I just go ahead and add the interactive shell over here, and the username is Mary, and set the password for Mary. The user ID we have specified over here is 4389 and specified the password over here. $0.48 MB, something like that. So, okay, you can simply verify the what is the size we have currently. You have 2 GB in size, so you need how much? Okay, you need more 1000 MB over here in order to extend to the 2048 over there. So now fdisk/dev/sdc, and I'm just going to create a new partition over here, and that's going to be a second one, and we need how much? Nearby 1 GB, so 1024 MB in size. I'm just going to make over here /dev/sdc, and mkswap /dev/sdc2. So I'm going to make the swap partition on SDC2 over here. So it's going to be set it up the swap size, and I'm saying that swap an /dev/sdc2. Now you can simply go ahead and see that free-m, it's going to be 3071 in size. Now you just go ahead and add the fstab entry to the permanently mount this swap partition over here /dev/sdc2, and the file system is swap and mount point is swap, defaults is 0 space 0. Now mount -a to verify this, is there any errors? Now our question has been satisfied. Swap on maybe you can also verify that -s. You can see that the extra partition which we made as a partition. Make the directory /tmp backup and find all the owners user files as Mary ownership and execute simultaneous copy over here cp-rvfp, and I am going to copy this to /tmp backup and close this extension. So now what happens, whatever the files which is owned by the Mary is going to be copied to that tmp backup file. So it's going to be find recursively and all the files will be copied over there to the tmp. In meanwhile, we can open maybe one more tab, no terminal tab over here. You just have to grep IP address on /opt words and redirects to the /root/lines font. Okay, that's it. So whatever the content has been there from there, so it should be append to this lines font over there. We have a partition, this engineering project 1. This is actually 120 MB in size. Actually we are going to make that is to the 100 MB. So we are going to reduce this file system to the 100 MB. So before that we are just going to over here and create some test files, so that after extend also the file should be intact. So all the files have been created over here. Now unmount /redhat, we are just going to unmount it and e2 fsck and run this. Is there any errors basically on this LVM? So we did not find any errors over there, and resize the file system. Now ENG project 1 to 100 MB in size, and now LV reduce the size to 100 MB. /tv ENG project 1, and it says that reducing the active logical partition to 128 MB, reducing the size to boundary between the physical extents of 128 MB, which was saying say yes. Okay, now say mount -a, it is mounted, and you can see this Red Hat partition which is within the size, and you can go ahead and see that the files are intact. You can see this which is 93 MB, so it would be fine. So the next one is going to be create a archive of the /opt data. So in order to create the archive, what we have to do? So first of all, tar-cvzf, not ZF, JF, it's a BZ2 extension. So now we are going to create the archive file. So in order to do that, first of all we have to make the directory mkdir /tmp/var. Okay, this is the directory we have to create it, and tar-cvzf and /tmp var archive dot bz2 and what is the data slash opt data. So this is the all the files we have to make it to the over there slash tmp var, and you can see this just for the confirmation. You can see this, the archive file has been created. So thanks for watching, stay tuned. Please subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos and courses. Please follow us on social networking sites. If you have any technical related questions, you can ask.